Hey everybody, thanks for joining. Hope you're all doing well. It's a bit of a stressful week for those of us in the US, but I'm hoping we can just relax and hang out, and you can give me suggestions as I'm working on this and trying to get better at using logic all the time. So, if any of you don't know me, my name's Michael. And my friend Michael. Here's. Oh, I don't have that turned on yet. Just a sec. In order to play Freebird for you, Michael, I have to switch to this. Is that right? Not yet. So many things. I'm still not great at using OBS. Wait, is that coming through? I don't think it is. Okay, let me figure something out, because I'm going to need to figure out... Ooh. I'm going to need to figure out how this audio is going to work in a second. All right. All right, let's try this. Oh, that's not better. Oh, I can do that. Okay. Please let me know. Oh, the audio was coming through. Okay. It's always hard to tell with this, but it should be better now. Okay, so Scarlet is going through... All right, so... There's the very beginning of the melody of Freebird for you, Michael. Okay, so... Yeah, if anything is not coming through correctly for you, if you're not hearing something that I'm doing, please let me know, because I'm still not great at streaming. I'm trying to constantly get better, and it's a completely different thing to stream a video game than it is to stream working on music. So I've got my DAW open. I use Logic. In order to bypass the more compositional side of things, I decided to already have all of the notes in here. So we're just going to be working on sounds and possibly adding more notes, but I don't want to be as composition heavy this time. I want to be more thinking of this as like getting the right atmosphere. So what we're working on today is Kraid's Hideout from the first Metroid game. So for starters, I have all of the notes that exist as they do in the NES game in here, but just being played by an electric piano. I have some ideas in mind for what I want to do with it, but if anyone has any ideas for what you're hearing, let me know. Write it in the comments. But here's what we've got to work with so far. Okay, so that's, at least as far as I could tell, more or less the exact pitches as they exist in the game, just played on an electric keyboard sound. So what I'm thinking of here is to go for really spooky, atmospheric, slowed down. I'm not ready to be done with Halloween yet, so I already started playing around with different tempi possibilities earlier, but let's just see what this sounds like at 60. I might want it even slower than this. That was 100 where we started. Maybe even a little slower, but let's start with that and keep that in mind as we're working on what sounds we're going to use. So if you've been to one of my... If you've heard me talk about what I like to do with synth covers, or you've heard any of my synth covers or been to any of my previous streams where I'm working on a synth cover, I really like synths that sound like synths and not synths that sound like they're trying to sound like an acoustic instrument. So I like to be really obvious about it, and that sort of makes me drawn to like more 8-bit sounding instruments and things like that. But I like to start with this retro synth pack and just sort of play around. So for let's just whoa. That's very loud in my ear. How can I turn this down from here? Okay, like that. All right, that's hideous. I don't like that. I want this to be spacey and spooky. So if anyone knows any of these synth sounds, feel free to put stuff in the chat because I'm keeping an eye on that as well. I don't hate this. Okay, I kind of like that. Let's just I'm going to actually write down the ones that I like because I can never remember as I'm going through. All right, scrap piece of paper and a pencil. Okay, big sinker. What else? That is not my favorite sound, but it's not horrible. Actually, well, no, I'm going to keep this in mind because if I quiet it down... I use this sound so much. I'm going to put it in parentheses as a baby, but I don't think I want to use it. I don't think this will be it. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, that might work. Dance. Basic. Lead. The trouble that I always have with working on anything with the synth is that there are so many sounds you can make. Like, this is just one pack of synths that I have. Oop. Huh. I might want to use this at a different point. I don't think I want to use it on the melody, but I'm going to put deep sigh down as a maybe. I don't think that's the one. Okay, so I've used this one a lot, and I like it, but it's such a totally different sound if you're playing legato. But if your finger comes off the keys at all, when it's re-striking for a new phrase, it's such a harsher sound, so I don't think I'm going to end up using that one for this one. So I don't want anything to stick out too much. Okay, that's really cool. This is my favorite so far. Electricity lead. But 50s sci-fi might be exactly the right kind of sound we want. That's just a maybe. Well, no, I'm going to put that as a no because I like it a lot, but I think I want something a little nastier than that. Not that nasty, though. I don't like any of these ones for playing a melody when they have multiple pitches. It's I like to be able to tell what the melody is. I use that one too much. I'm not really feeling the high end of that one for this. Let's keep going. Not mad at it. Not my ideal. Alright, that's pretty cool. I still think electricity is my favorite so far, but slow swells is cool. No, and I have no idea how that's a synthesized voice. No. That one's pretty cool. Try pulse lead. If anyone has any questions or suggestions, please let me know. And I'm happy to talk about completely unrelated things as well. No, I don't like those for this. Nah, too harsh. Okay, so for starters, let's just put the melody in electricity lead because that's my favorite, and let's give it a listen. The harmony will still be in classic electric piano. Ooh, I like how this faster section's working. Okay, the staccato part at the end, this last little group here sounds a little interesting on this instrument, but I like this part here a lot on that instrument. Michael, good question. First song I learned to play and on what instrument? So I think a lot like basically anyone who makes music, I'm assuming that their first instrument is really their voice. And that was always my favorite instrument of mine. Because like little kids make up songs all the time, even before they really know what they're doing. They just like exuberantly sing whatever they feel like. And at some point we learned to leave that to the professionals. And you know, you're an artist, you get that all the time. Like, you know, little kids draw and color all the time. And at some point they think, oh, I'm not good enough at this, so I shouldn't do it anymore. And I think there's a lot of joy in just doing it for your own entertainment, whether you're good at it or not. And if you keep doing it, you'll get better at it. So voice, but like instrument external to myself, piano. My parents would take me to visit my grandma and she had a piano, and I would just play things by ear. And I while at her house, she also had the stickers on all the keys of the piano that had the instrument, the pitch names and what they looked like on the staff. And so, like, from that, I basically taught myself how to read music a little bit using that. And she had a children's songbook that was put out by Reader's Digest that I've seen a few other people have. It's like a orangey yellow cover with like Humpty Dumpty on the cover and stuff like that. It's a great book. I wish I still had it. But it's like very simple children's songs. So I sort of learned to play from that a little bit. I have no idea what the first was. But I was doing it, like I was in piano lessons starting at age 8, I believe. And I don't really remember much from that time of my life. So I have no idea what was first, really. But good question. Okay, so I want to play with this electricity lead a little bit. I want to add some reverb to it. So let's turn on some audio effects, go into the Space Designer mono. I'm sorry. Um, all right. Now we get to play with this part of it. Um, let's start way too big. Ooh, warped spaces. Actually, that might be exactly what I want. Okay. Um, let's just pick one. Let's see what deep verb sounds like, and just kind of sort of mess from here. We're focusing mostly on the melody here, but I want to hear what the harmony does to it before we add any changes to the harmony itself. So just the melody first. Okay, I like that. That's kind of creepy. Well, creepy is what I'm going for. But let's just see if there are a few others that might be interesting. Typically, I am very much the type that, like, when I'm working on anything creative, I pick a good enough, and I am. One of my faults is that I don't go in and pick the absolute best option for things all the time. So let's just sort of. What does Prison Small Hall sound like? Let's just play around a little bit more. Okay, I get the idea for that. I don't like it as much, but let's see what the other sections sound like. Nope, that sounds cooler there. Next section. Yeah, I'm not. This isn't the right one. So, just before I forget, I need to write down what the one I liked was, because I will forget. That was in warped spaces. It was deep verb, so I'm going to write that down. Any other questions about anything from anyone? Feel free to put them in the chat. Okay, let's see what else we've got. So the seconds listed here is how long the reverb lasts. So let's go for the longest one. It'll be too much for this, but let's hear what Castle Lobby sounds like for this. I'm not actually mad at that, but here that reverb is still going. Yeah, it's still going. Okay, now I don't hear it anymore. I think that will be a little bit long, but I think that's not as bad as I thought it would be. And I see another good question from Michael. Do I do you think you appreciated video game music as much as a kid as you do now? Do you think it in any way informed your pro work? Um, I think appreciating video music is part of what made me like music as much as I do. I One of the things that I love the most about music is being able to tell a story or at least assist in telling a story with music. So that's part of why I got into opera composition. But I do think that if I were to make a list of the most influential composers slash songwriters to me, we'd get Benjamin Britten, Igor Stravinsky, Tori Amos, and Nobuo Uematsu of Final Fantasy fame. And I think the opera scene of Final Fantasy VI, even though it's not really that sophisticated as far as opera music goes, it does a really good job of being something that tells the story in music. And it has reverberations for scenes outside of the opera, which I didn't completely realize until much later. But I do like how that works and how it does a good job of sort of bridging a gap between traditional opera music and the sound world of the game already. So yeah, just the cool stuff that you can do in this medium. Composer Nico Muhly talks about how video game music is cool because when you get into sound effects and the sound design of the things that the character you're playing is doing, he talked specifically about Mario. You're sort of co-composing with the game's soundtrack. Each little jump sound effect and squash sound effect and the little ding of collecting a coin fits into the music. And it's a really exciting thing that you can do with the medium of video game music that you can't do with most other music media. Okay, so let's get back to this. Space Designer. Oh, I probably do want it in stereo, don't I? Well, that was dumb of me. Okay, let's switch it real quick. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Large spaces, warp spaces. That was Castle Lobby. That was a little bit too much. Dam level 1 and Dam level 2. Is this some GoldenEye stuff? Let's see what Dam level 1 sounds like. Or worse, is it Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles music? I'm listening to the reverb. I feel like I'm sort of getting diminishing returns by spending this much time on reverbs, so I'm going to go back to the one that was my favorite. Like here. There. Okay. Large spaces, warped spaces, deep verb. Let's listen to this one more time to see if this is for sure what I want. Yeah, I like how the instrument sounds much more present. Okay. So I need to keep that sound in my head now while I work on the accompaniment or the bass. So for starters, let's just switch to retro synth and synth bass. So one thing I want to make sure of is that it's something that has a solid pitch to it. So like this air bass synth, there is pitch to that, but it's very little. It feels very quiet. So I'm not going to love it. Also, I want to check to make sure that we have the lowest note. This one does, but it doesn't sound like a pitch, so I'm not going to use it. Now this might be perfect. I'll write that down. Okay, what else we've got? Nah. Oh, I forgot to check to make sure Analog Funk has the low E. It does, okay. This might be perfect. It's unsettling. Michael asked, know when people describe an instrument or sound as warm, is there a cool sound to music? Yeah. So, actually, Molly and I have a video about this on our channel. We specifically talk about that with voices, but yeah, the warm versus cool all has to do with the resonant space of the instrument. So I'm going to try to demonstrate a little bit. With voices, it's a little bit different, but that's the instrument that I know the best. So if I were just going to sing like, that's pretty standard, my full regular voice, but not singing loud. If I wanted to sing that same pitch and make it brighter, now this is bright, this is not cool, but they tend to kind of go together. A brighter sound would be whereas a darker sound would be and I'm really just changing the shape of my mouth and where my tongue is to make different parts of my head vibrate differently. Warm versus cool. I think warm and dark go together more readily, but so warm sounds have prioritize the harmonic series that are closer to their fundamental, but it's a very scientific way of describing it. I could talk about this, but to go into a lot of details, I'd have to get really sciencey, and I don't know all of the science of acoustics that well, so I'd be kind of like hoping that I get it correct. But I don't know, like a good example of a cool sound would be a flute. It's got that breathy sound to it, and it sounds like a small instrument. It sounds like there's not a big body like a string bass that's got this big hollow body echoing behind it, or even like an acoustic guitar. Whereas cooler sounds don't have as much resonance to them. It doesn't feel like there's as big of a body behind that instrument. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get back to picking out bass sounds. So far detuned bass is my favorite. That's not bad. Evil Tongues is pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to write both of those down, but I think detuned is my favorite so far. And Evil Tongues is just a fun name. Okay. Whoa. I like it, but not for this, but I might want to use it somewhere else. So I'm going to write this down off to the side, falling down. Yeah, Evil Tongues is definitely a band name. What kind of music would that be? It's basically an Evanescence cover band. Whoa. So this is a cool sound, but it's not playing the same pitch that this is. So this is going to be another one that I'm going to put down off to the side, because if I want some like weird unsettling sound effects in this, that might be a good one. a growling. Very cool sound, but not really what I want for this. Nah. I'm anticipating I won't like this one. Yeah, it's adding other pitches to the sound that I don't really want here. Now, I could see this one being really cool if I mess with it. Like, put some pedals on it. So I'm going to keep that in mind. No. 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 Okay, so I think I'm going to keep detuned, but what I want to do is copy and paste this. Oops. Let's do it like this and this. I'm going to mute this one for a second and play with this one a little bit so that if I mess up, I can go back to the one I already have saved. Let's listen to them as they are now first. Okay, I think that might be exactly what I want, but I still want to play with messing with the other one with muted bass, or was it 80s? Should have written this down. I think it was muted. Okay, well, let's see if I can add some effects. I'm not good at all this stuff, but let's see what I can do. Not what I want. Okay, let's... I know... Where's the thing that I'm looking for? I found it before. It's been a while. And some pedals. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Pedal board. Give me a stereo pedal board. Oh boy, now I got to pick them. I'm just putting in random ones because I don't really know what most of these do. I know very little about pedals. I am mostly an acoustic composer. So for now, I'm just going to turn all these off. And then go back to the beginning here. Play, and then just turn these on and mess with them as it's playing. Okay. Once again, I'm thinking I should probably mess with this more, but I really like it. Okay, let's just try the other two that I randomly grabbed. I'm gonna turn this one off. You can mix them and have them going through multiple at the same time, but I'm not advanced enough in that, so let's just play with one at a time. That's the winner. Will it only let me do one or the other? Let's see. Aha. Okay, I think it'll only let me do one or the other, so I have to switch to the pedal board because I liked that sound so much more. Alright, let's see if I can get it again. Okay, it's not quite as good as it was. I might actually go back after this stream and find the settings that I had it at before, because that was really good. Okay, but now I know that I can't have both the pedal board and a Space Designer on. So no reverb on the bass, just on the melody. Now I want to compare the detuned bass to the messed up muted bass that I played with. Switching. I think I like the messed up muted more. Yeah, this is the winner. Okay, now I gotta think, what else do I want to do to this? I am kind of thinking of weird, creepy sounds in the background. So let's just add some new instruments. Okay, great. This one will be retro synth and synth leads, and that was Deep Sigh was one of the ones I wanted to play with. I'm really bad at improv in any sense, but I'm gonna just play around with this and see if I can get some sounds that I want from this. not loving this. Okay. Let's move on to another one. One of the other ones that I had saved in the base, which was Falling Down. Let's play again. I don't know, I kind of like just like randomly playing pitches that are in the chord but ignoring rhythm with this instrument and having it pretty quiet like it is. I think I'm going to turn on, without even playing with it yet, I'm going to get the Space Designer going for this and get this in the same large, warped, deep verb. And just play. Let's just see what I like. Okay, I might play with that a little bit more, but I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to turn it down a little bit more to have that barely there. Let's play some more. I'm actually really liking how this is going, so this might end up being a short stream, because I normally don't like to add too much stuff to my synth tracks. Let's see. Let's play around with this FM wobble bass. Retro synth. Bass. FM wobble. What's this sound like again? Ah, okay. Doesn't sound as good high. But that's cool. Okay, this is gonna have to be real quiet. Or I just use it less and have it be kind of loud and jarring. I don't know, let's see. That might be too much. Okay. Let's tone it down and add the Space Designer that I've been doing to the others. Stereo. Large. Warped. Deep verb. Let's see if this being quieter. I still want it to stick out a little bit, but I don't know about sticking out that much. This one will be actually more rhythmic, I think. That might be a little too aggressive, but let's see what it sounds like. Oh, thank you for the compliment, Michael. I like them all but the last one. This one right here, when that comes in, it either needs to be quieter, so like, am I really hearing that? Or louder, as so it's sort of like a jump scare. Let's play around with both options by turning the velocity way up. This is going to be too loud, but let's just see what the extremes sound like. Okay, other option. Turn it way down. I think the quiet's better. Even quieter, actually. Okay, so those are all the essentially pitched things that I want to add. I don't want to add too much more pitch information, but now we can start going into percussion. I'm bad at percussion. I will be honest about that. I don't think I want to have one of the automatic drummers playing, so let's see what kind of percussion I can get from here. Okay, drum synth, stereo. Oh boy. Let's see. How is this? I don't exactly know what I want or where to start with this. I've done this so little. I think I want a scratch cymbal. I'm not liking all these. Let's pick a different set. Not drum synth. Drum kit designer doesn't often work for me very well. Let's try it anyway. Okay. What's the retro rock kit sound like? Okay, so I could see myself potentially using some really low bass drums. And luckily these track pretty closely to the markings on my keyboard. So I know it's a bass drum. Those don't track, okay. Is this a snare? Rim shot, okay. Clap? Yeah. Okay. let's pick some cymbal sounds. That one's the best so far, I think. Don't want a hi-hat. Okay. Is it this one that I like? Yeah. I think just these two sound so close. Just this one and that one. All right, let's see. I don't want to have too much. I want this to be pretty spare. I don't know if I like that. I'll play around with it for a while. I'm going to definitely turn it down and add in a space. Make it large. Warped. Come on. Deep verb. Let's listen again. All right. What else do I want to do to it? Any suggestions? Anything else anyone wants to hear? I'm having fun with this, though. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to mess with panning left and right. So I was thinking of, for this falling down one, not volume. Pan. And put it on touch. Will it let me? Okay. So start there. Roughly match it here. So each of these sweep. So, for instance, let's just listen to the first one. I'm not sure if that's really sticking out very much. Let's see. Let's play with the next one. Because I want it to be pretty extreme. Let's try again. I'm not hearing it. It's not working how I'm expecting it to. No, it's not working. Okay, I'm just going to undo all that. I don't know enough to do it right. So instead, I'm going to have just everything panned in different places. So typically when you're working on pan for a piece, you want the melody, the bass, and the percussion all to be in the middle. But that's basically all I have here. But that's typically because it helps you focus on what you're supposed to be listening to, and anything else that is supporting that. And then, like, you know, if you've got keyboards on to the left, and then acoustic guitar to the right, or something like that, you know, that, so that it balances. Another way to think about it is if you recorded actual live musicians playing something, imagine that they're set up in a room playing this together. Space them out in the room so it sounds like you're in the room with them. So what I can do then, ignoring this detuned bass, I've got 5 instruments here. And I can have them just sort of placed in the space. But I have an idea. Since this wobble bass is the loud one that kind of sticks out, I can have that one all the way to the right and have most of the rest leaning a little bit left. So that one really sticks out. So let's go just like -10 to the left with the lead. We'll keep the bass center. We'll have falling down be that much. And we'll keep the percussion center. Let's see what this does. I might want to change my mind. I don't know if anyone's listening on headphones, but that's kind of cool. It feels a little unsettling to have the melody and the other little sound effect thing happening on more to the left, and then have this other essentially sound effect happening pretty loud to the right. But I do want to balance that a little bit with the bass. Move the bass just that much. Let's see what that sounds like. I think that ruins the effect. Okay, I'm going to move the bass back. Try again. I just realized what I did wrong. So I think with this falling down, each individual pitch it plays is placed in a spot panning left or right. Excuse me. But it can't, while sustaining a pitch pan, I believe. So I'm going to instead alter them like this, just from the start of each pitch. And this way it doesn't even need to be exactly lined up. Oops. I need to touch there. Doesn't matter how accurate they are. I want some of the changes to be bigger, some to be smaller. Okay, let's try that now. Nope, didn't work how I wanted it to. Oh well, so much for that. Oops, not that button. If anyone knows better than me, please let me know, because I sure don't know. All right. And there. Okay, so I think the last thing that I might want is some sort of sound effect happening in the background that I would probably get from free sound. I don't really want to search through free sound on this, but sort of what I'm imagining is some sort of breathing sound or some sort of like compressed air going through some sort of machine so that it sounds like life support on a ship or something, sort of keeping with the alien-ish sound effect world that I'm going for. But I'll play with that. I'll probably add that, and I'll probably keep tweaking this for about a week because I'm planning for this cover to go live a week from today. Let's give it one more listen as a group, though. If anyone has any suggestions or questions about anything, please let me know. That last weird sound effect. I really love it. Okay, well, I think that's it for today, unless anyone has any last-minute questions or suggestions or anything like that. But if not, then I can move to this. So thanks everybody so much for joining. That'll be it for tonight. For those of you who are also stressed out living in the US, I wish you calm thoughts and maintain your groovy selves.